What is up, guys? It is JRob back here again from Team NrG GolfClash for another tournament guide this week, the Riverside Tournament. We're going to be playing Glen Monarch Estates and Sunshine Glades here. We have another tournament here with a couple different courses mixed in. This is going to be a little bit different of a guide than normal, but I definitely think it's going to be different in a good and positive way because we have a lot more live gameplay that I've tried to get in here for you guys. And we're also going to throw up some text guide as well for you guys that are in some higher divisions, just because we do not have a clip of every single tee box here and how to play every single tee, so that we will be going over. We'll talk a little bit about club setups and ball recommendations in more in depth as we jump on over here to the first hole. But let's jump on over to the first hole here, guys, in just a second. But before we do, if you guys haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would definitely really appreciate it. And we're trying to get up to at least 1,000 subscribers here right now. We are doing a gift card, $30 gift card giveaway here at 1,000 subscribers. So definitely tune into that. And we are coming out with the new GolfClash library that we are going to have on the channel that is going to be playlists of every single hole on every single course, so you guys can go and look up any hole in specific that you might need some help on and get a little bit of a guide for that hole and how to play that. So we got a lot of big ideas coming up, so definitely stay tuned for that. And we're going to jump over to the first hole here and get started. Okay, guys, so here we have hole number 1, par 4 for Sunshine Glades. This is a pretty simple, straightforward hole. What we're going to try to do here, this is going to be from the front tee box, most of these shots here. So what we're going to do is make sure that we have enough backspin on our ball and enough curl and left side spin here to get ourselves curled around to where we have enough backspin to bounce in front of that bunker, the fairway right there where I'm lining my ball up, and we're going to bounce over that bunker and roll onto the fairway. Because I have a headwind here, we're going to have to use a little bit of overpower to make sure that I get over the bunker, but basically come in with that bounce and make sure that it's slow enough to roll at least across that green there and at least towards the pin, so we can try to get the hole in one. If not, you're going to end up with just a simple little chip here like this. But if you do end yourself up further back, you're going to end up with a rough chip right out of the outside of the fringe here. It's not a very long chip. Definitely is makeable, like you will see here. But it's a little bit more of a challenge coming out of the rough than it is right off the fringe. So definitely make sure that you have enough backspin there so we can get that nice eagle here for hole number 1. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for the last guide for hole number 1, and we're going to move on to our first text guide here. Alright, guys, so up on the screen here is the text guide for hole number 1, par 4 for Sunshine Glades. We're going to go over the live gameplay of each hole and then do a text guide right afterwards. So for Pro and Experts division, we're basically going to be playing this the red arrow as well as Masters. But Masters is going to be a little bit different as we know that the distance is changed up just a little bit. So you're going to have to mess with your backspin here and judge your wind. If you have a tailwind or a headwind, you know, judge it by how far that your ball is going to blow forward or backwards, depending on how much backspin that you're going to use to make sure that you get yourself curled around far enough, about 40% curl, and get yourself bounced over that bunker. For Pro and Expert and Masters divisions, it's going to be played with a 10% off the tee box here. Just make sure that you have a ball here. I would recommend with at least 3 bars of side spin. I would recommend a Kingmaker here because we have that little bit of distance, wind resistance, and you know, we also have that 3-bar side spin to the left here. So what we're gonna do is basically bounce that ball with about 4 bars of backspin is probably going to be about the good amount here. So bounce it right before the bunker and over, right onto the fairway right before the green there, and then onto the green, and you could eventually even hopefully get that hole in one. But definitely just make sure that you get that curl around there and enough backspin to where you don't end yourself up in that bunker or shoot past it and end yourself up in that rough and have that rough chip that we showed you in the video before. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 1, par 4 for Sunshine Glades. We're going to hop over to hole number 2. Moving on to hole number 2 here, par 3 for Sunshine Glades. There's a couple different ways we can play this one as well. We can play it off of that right-hand side little patch of fairway there with about 3 to 4 bars of backspin and a bar to 2 bars of left spin. And you can kind of compensate with a little bit of curl here. Or we can play it with 2 bars of topspin and about a half a bar to a bar of right-hand side spin like I'm doing here. 0% elevation off of the first tee box, 5% for pro and expert, and 10% here for master. What we're going to do is just basically hit that perfect ball with our ball guide going right into the hole, and it should come in there fairly nice and roll up there and either hit the pin or just get in there real nice for a hole in one. So here's the text guide here for hole number 2, par 3 for Sunshine Glades. For rookie division, that is exactly how it's going to be played. For pro and expert, it's going to be played with a 5% elevation off the tee box, and masters is going to be played with a 10%. You can play that rough bump option, the blue arrowed approach, with a quarterback, but you can also play it from the right-hand side with a sniper or a wood club here. But we're going to basically be playing it with the 3 to 4 bars backspin approach and 2 bars left-hand side spin to a bar of left-hand side spin. But what we can do is also play that rough bump option with about a bar of backspin instead with a quarterback here. And make sure that we calculate either for that 10 or 5% elevation. But this is pretty much going to be a simple hole. Just make sure you try and get that hole in one. In my opinion, the rough bump option is your best bet here. Alrighty, so we have hole number 3 here, par 5, our first Glen Monarch Estates hole. So what we're going to do here is basically play this one with about 2 bars of left spin here. We can play it with some right hand side spin as well if we feel comfortable with the top spin that we're using to get over that bunker. Or you can kind of play it safe with some left-hand side spin and kind of cheat your way away from the bunker. Just make sure that you don't roll down there too far and end yourself up in the rough. But we basically want to get our ball as far down this fairway as we possibly can here. We will potentially have to use some overpower like you see here. I had a little bit of a headwind, so that didn't really help my case. But as you can see, we're going to come in here with a nice bounce, and we're going to clip that rough and roll out. The ideal shot is to clip that rough and roll out, or if not, just basically have the little amount of topspin where you can bounce and just get that fairway and not roll into the rough. This is one of the trickiest shots that's, in my opinion, going to be on this entire tournament and in this course that we have. I should have used just about 2 bars of topspin here and some left-hand side spin and try to get it to where it bounces and hits that rough and rolls out into the fairway there, right to the left of that bunker. or you can use about a bar or 2 bars of topspin and bounce over that bunker and onto the green and hope that your ball doesn't roll too fast. Because as you're going to see here, I had a fairly decent shot here, but it was just coming in a little bit too hot to where it bounced over that bunker and it rolled too fast because it hit that green right there in the fringe, and it rolled too fast and over into the bunker. So you're going to see some people mess up here and miss either this sand wedge shot here right outside of the fringe. It's not a fairly hard shot, but one that you are going to see some people miss and mess up the eagle here on this hole. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 3, our first par 5. We're going to move over to the text guide here. But this is definitely going to be a kind of make or break your game kind of hole. So definitely make sure that you get that second shot dialed in, guys. Good luck. Alright, so the text guide here for hole number 3, par 5 for Glen Monarch Estates. This one here for pro and expert divisions. This one is going to be played here with 2 to 3 bars of topspin. 4 to 5, you know, you'll be fine. Just don't, I wouldn't go more than that because you're gonna go too far down that fairway and you're gonna end up in the rough. So you're gonna have to possibly overpower a little bit here, but basically get it to where it bounces like it did before, and just clip that rough, or to where you can bounce over and hit the fairway, but not roll too far and go in the rough there. We want to get as far down that fairway as we can, because as you can see, you know, we had that trouble with the big dog on the last shot there. We should have kind of went to the left through the rough there like we talked about, but towards the green and the pin. But you're going to be left with a second shot that's going to be 1 to 2 bar topspin at max, and you're either going to have to bounce over that bunker and hope that your ball doesn't catch too much speed and roll over the green and hit that bunker like I did, or that you can roll through that rough and it'll slow your ball down enough to where you'll pull out onto the green there, and you can slope down towards the pin. But basically, we're going to play this one with a little bit of left spin off the tee box, 10% for pro and expert, and 15% off the tee box for master here. But basically, get your ball as far as we can down that first fairway, and then try to set yourself up for the best second shot that you can. This is going to be one of the most trickiest shots in the whole tournament, in my opinion. So you're going to see a lot of people mess up the eagle on this hole, or get in the bunker or the rough. So definitely really try to dial this one in here, guys. Good luck. We're going to move on to hole number 4. Hole number 4, par 3 for Glen Monarch Estates. Basically, this one here is going to be played for rookie division here with the 0% elevation adjustment. We're going to play this with 2 bars of topspin here, about 1.5 to 2 bars here, depending on what kind of wind that we have. If we have a tailwind, I would play it with about 1.5 bars or a bar, you know, because you're going to have that extra wind push forward. But 0%, just make sure that you adjust for your wind here on this one, and about 1 bar to 2 bars of right side spin, or a 1/2 bar to 1 bar of right side spin, because we want to ride that edge right there and have it push our ball back in towards the pin. That is the ideal shot there. So good luck. Okay, guys, so the text guide here for hole number 4, par 3 for Glen Monarch Estates. This one here, for some of you in pro and expert here, this is going to be played either with your long iron or the sniper. What you're going to do here is play it with a bar or 2 bars of topspin and a 1/2 bar or to 1 bar of right hand side spin. It's pretty much going to be played the same as rookie division here, but it is going to be played with 5% and a 10% elevation adjustments here, depending on what division that you are in. So basically make sure that you pay attention to that and kind of ride that green from right to left. As you can tell, It's kind of like a peanut shaped looking green, and we're going to ride that right hand edge out to the right and let it push our ball back into the left towards the pin. So the better short iron or wood club that you do have with the best ball guide is going to be your best chance here. It's going to be a nice one here for a hole-in-one, probably one of the best chances that we do have. So try to get that extra stroke here. Going to be a good chance. Okay, guys, so hole number 5 here, par 4 for Glen Monarch Estates. For rookie division here, this is just going to be played with the 0% elevation adjustment. For some of you that don't have more than 5 bars of topspin here, this shot that's going to be curled around over to the other fairway for you to reach the green in one is going to be out of commission. So as you can see here, I was trying to show you guys like what it was going to take to get over there. So I would just lay it up here on the end of this green or this fairway here, and let your second shot be a good approach to the green here. But just use a couple bars of backspin, and definitely make sure that you have the thorn equipped on your club bag, because for your second shot here, as you're going to be able to see here in a second, for this shot, it's going to be just played with a 0% elevation adjustment on the second shot, but we're going to need full backspin here for this approach. So because we're so close to the green there, and the rough bump is kind of out of commission as well, we just basically have to go with the full backspin approach here at 0% elevation. Just adjust for your wind here and make sure that you get this one really close. And this will be a great chance at an eagle. To be able to make that hooked shot, we need about 75% curl at least on our club, and like 6 bars topspin. And I would recommend a headwind or a tailwind. If we have a headwind, we're definitely not going to be able to have the distance and the power to get over there. So make sure that you don't end up in the water on this hole. Play it smart, and just either try to get a real nice setup for a second shot here, or just chip it in for the birdie. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 5, par 4 for Glen Monarch Estates, and we are going to jump over to the text guide. Alright guys, so the text guide for hole number 5, par 4 here for Glen Monarch Estates. For pro and expert divisions here, pro is going to be played with 5%, expert and master is going to be played with 10%. You're basically just going to drive it down straight, the fairway straight ahead, unless you have a higher powered ball and a club with a lot of curl, you're not going to be able to actually reach the green. A lot of you guys in expert and master will have some higher level balls, so you'll definitely be able to do the curled shot that will be able to bounce you from and hook you around off of that first fairway over to the fairway that the green is on. But if you guys don't, you can definitely just lay it up at the end of the fairway that's straight ahead, and we'll use the thorn on this specific hole here, because we're going to want to use the full backspin approach and get it to where it'll bounce up and over from the fringe, up over the pin, and bounce and roll back towards the pin and drop in, because we don't really have much room to work with, and the rough bump is kind of out of commission on this hole here, because it's a really weird angled fringe that runs around, and it has a weird rough line here, so the rough bump is kind of out of the question. So that's pretty much going to be the simple put way that you're going to have to play this hole. If you want to get the eagle, you'll have to make the short iron chip across the water. So good luck with this one, and we're going to move on to hole number 6.
Great shot. Perfect shot. Nice on. Birdie.
All right, guys, so we have hole number 6 here, par 5, Sunshine Glades text guide. So basically for rookie division, 0%, pro and expert here is going to be played with 5%, and then expert 10%, and masters 10%. So what we're going to do here is play this with about 4 to 5 bars of topspin here to the right-hand side. Or the left-hand side, if you can reach over to the second fairway, if we have a tailwind or, a kind of crosswind that goes angled tailwind, I would recommend possibly playing the left-hand side. But make sure you have some right-hand side spin and a little bit of curl. You may have to use a little bit of overpower there for the left-hand side, but definitely if you are going the right-hand side, just make sure that you don't end up in that bunker or the rough. About 4 to 5 bars of topspin here, 2 bars right-hand side spin. You can use a bar if you want. Just make sure that you get yourself to the left of that bunker and straight down that fairway to set yourself up here for a nice shot with the sniper curled around that tree, that little group of trees up by the green. So what we're going to do is use 0% elevation on our second shot here and curl that around with about 2.5 bars of topspin roughly, and get that curled around with about 25% curl and 2 to 3 bars of left-hand side spin, and bounce it from the side, like behind those trees there, where we kind of showed you in the video, and then around those trees towards the pin. So that's going to be the ideal shot. If we do play the left-hand side, it's going to be 0% as well, but just make sure that you kind of use about 4 to 5 bars of backspin and some left-hand side spin with a nice approach up there to the pin. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap-up for the text guide for hole number 6, par 5 for Sunshine Glades, and let's move on to hole number 7. Okay, so we have hole number 7 here, par 4. This is definitely the way that I would recommend playing this hole here. It's a rough bump option. We can basically put it right here in the rough, just in front of that sand, going straight at the pin here, and we can use a bar to a bar and a half to 2 bars of topspin depending on which way our wind is going. But basically make sure that your ball guide is just shy of that pin, because as you're going to be able to tell here, I'm going to come in just a little bit shy, but just make sure that you hit perfect ball here, and you take in effect for that 10% elevation adjustment as well. And it is a pretty smooth green, so it will come in fairly nice. So good luck out there. Okay, so hole number 7 here, par 3 for Glen Monarch Estates. This one is going to be played one of 2 different ways. There is a third option as well, with a little bit of curl if you want to play it on that little squiggly right-hand side fairway. But there is a rough bump option that is very good. It's about 1.5 to 2 bars top spin and a bar of right-hand side spin directly at the pin. Make sure that you have your ball guide right inside of the pin. And you can also just lay it up onto the green there with about 4 to 5 bars of top spin or backspin, but you can just lay it up on the green there with 4 or 5 bars of backspin and either just put it in for a birdie or get it really close to a hole-in-one there. But the rough bump is definitely, in my opinion, going to be the best option to get that hole-in-one. So good luck, guys. It's going to be a pretty straightforward hole. You can bounce over with a long iron, pull it back before and bounce over the little water and the rough there and roll it down the fairway as well if you do want to go with that option. It's about a bar to 2 bars of topspin with the long iron. So good luck, guys. It's pretty much going to be 10% for rookie and pro off of the tee box and 20% for expert and master. Okay, so hole number 8 here, par 4. So what we're going to do here, we can play this one of two different ways. We can play this one here to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. And as you can see, for you guys in rookie division, some of you guys are going to be able to actually play it and get onto the green. You'll be able to actually play this shot here up further or hit it off of where that bunker is there on the right-hand side and take it a one bounce and a rough bump towards the green and roll out onto the green there. But what we're going to do here is take 2 to 3 bars of right-hand side spin, a little bit of curl if you want, but about 2 to 4 bars of top spin here, depending on how far up your target is, and just basically get your ball right down, as far down there as you can, next to that bunker in the rough line. And we're going to come in here with a nice medium range shot with your short iron right at the pin. I'd recommend just playing this with a couple bars of backspin right at the pin. It's a 0% elevation adjustment, so it's nothing real tricky. We just have to adjust for our wind here. So it's 2 bars backspin here, straight at the pin, and adjust for your wind here. And this is going to be a very good chance at an eagle and to gain an extra stroke here late in the course. So definitely going to be a hole to look out for and one that you're going to want to catch one of these eagles. But as you're going to be able to see here, even I came in great left. And make sure that you adjust for medium range, because I didn't right there and hit great left and ended up perfect. Okay, guys, so hole number 8 here, par 4 for Glen Monarch Estates. We can play this side from the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. Both of them are pretty good options. In the video, we played this one here to the left-hand side, but the right-hand side option is just as good. About 4 to 5 bars of topspin. For rookie division here, it's just going to be 0%. But for pro and expert, 10%, and masters, 15% here. What we're going to do is play it with about 4 to 5 bars of topspin, some right-hand side spin, or left-hand side spin if you're going to the right. You can play it with some left-hand side spin to kind of cheat it back in towards that bunker in the middle of that fairway. But the left-hand side, play it with about 2 bars right-hand side spin, lay it up there, and get yourself set up for a really nice approach for the second shot here. And the second shot is just going to be played here with a 0% elevation adjustment, straight at the pin, about 2 bars backspin. Usually that's what I would do, about 2 bars backspin right at the hole, 0% elevation, about mid-distance of your short iron, and a good chance at an eagle here. So good luck with this one, guys. Pretty straightforward par 4 here. Just look for that extra stroke and up that game. Moving on to hole number 9 here, par 5. This is the last clip that we have for you guys. So what we're going to do here is play this with as much right-hand side spin as we have. I would recommend at least a side spin 3 ball here, but a side spin 2 is perfectly fine as well, as long as you have a little bit of curl. But what we're going to do here is play it with max top spin. Depending on what wind you have, you might have to play it with a little bit of overpower, as you can see here. But what we're trying to avoid here is bouncing from right there over and into that bunker. So we want to stay as far right from that bunker as we can. So really, I would go with about 40 to 50% curl there. So we, avoid that bunker with as much right-hand side spin as we can and top spin. I would say more than 6 bars is probably too much. But what we're going to do here is play this with a 10% elevation adjustment and leave our ball guide just shy of the pin here with about 4 to 5 bars of backspin, depending on where we put our ball guide, how far up and, distance-wise it is with our club. But it's going to be about mid-distance to about 3/4 club with your wood here. So I would recommend the sniper. And like I said, about 4 to 5 bars of backspin, a couple bars of left-hand side spin if you want, and just make sure it's shy of the pin because it will roll in there a little bit past the pin, as you can see here. And then if you're lucky and get the albatross, that's awesome. But if not, putter right in for an eagle. Take that -2. So good luck, guys. All right, guys. So hole number 9 here, par 5. For Sunshine Glades. This is going to be our last hole here. So for rookie division here, this is going to be played with a 5%. For pro and expert here, 10%. And then for masters division, 20%. So what we're going to do here is play this to the right-hand side, the blue arrowed option. What we're going to do is play it with about 4 to 5 bars of topspin here and max right-hand side spin with whatever ball that we're going to use. I would recommend a Kingmaker here, but what we're going to do is use about 50% curl, 40 to 50% curl to the right-hand side, and then we're going to curl it around so that we miss that bunker on the second-hand fairway. It's going to bounce off of that little island patch fairway over onto that second island fairway and roll straight down that fairway and set us up for a nice second shot. So our second shot here is going to be played with a 10% elevation adjustment as well, and that's going to be played with our sniper. So we want to use about 4 to 5 bars of backspin straight at the pin and keep it just shy of the pin, our ball guide here, and just adjust for that 10% elevation, and we should be very, very close. There is the left-hand option to play this hole, but it is a terrible option in my opinion. It's really not a good way to play this hole because you have to have extremely good clubs and in order to be able to get it around in order to play that way, but it is possible. But a lot of you guys are going to be playing at the right-hand side option, so that is the way that we're going to be talking here. So just make sure that you have a nice clean first bounce off that first island and get it on that second fairway over there and set yourself up for a nice second shot, and you should be just fine. That's going to be the wrap up here, guys. End of hole number 9 here, par 5. So that's going to be the wrap up here, guys, for the Riverside Tournament Guide. I really hope that this guide helped you, and if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for the support. I couldn't do it without you guys. We're trying to get up to at least 1,000 subscribers and beyond. So pay attention to that $30 gift card giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. Stay tuned. And this is going to be JRob from Team NrG out. Have a nice rest of your guys' day and happy golfing. Good luck in the Riverside Tournament.